Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. It is Thursday, regular feature of Live with Lorielle, new called Stupid Question Day, where I put on the genius cap right here, which allows me to answer any question about any topic in the entire universe with complete accuracy. Guaranteed. According to me. So I hope you all have some questions for the genius. Oops, there's YouTube. That is slower. That's how long the lag is. I know it's just YouTube turning on. That's how long the lag is between the two shows. The other day I had I had almost no lag, and today it's like a full minute. So, hello. It's a little gray out today. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello to Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Donaldson and Fairy Silver and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Creme and Marceau and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Rick Stapler and John McCain and Terry Sue and Brett and Blair Cooper and Edwin QOV and Jay Dahlman and Cosmic Joe and Gluten Sweet and Sam and St. Clinton and Wing Doggy and Red. Hello. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. Hello. So it's Stupid Question Day, chat in the hat. I hope you all have some questions for the genius. Burning questions that have been bothering you all week. Yes, I'm here for a limited time only with the power of geniosity in this hat. So, I do have a question. David Jones has a question. David Jones says, how can we turn Thursdays into Fridays? Change the spelling. Take the THUR and add an FRI. Is that the answer you were looking for, David Jones? And hello, everybody on YouTube. Hi, Sam. Sam says, is that a jacket or a shirt? It is a shirt. It's a plaid shirt. Blue and red and white plaid. Flannel. Like cotton, soft, cute flannel. David Jones says the answer, how to turn Thursdays into Fridays, is wait till midnight. That'll work too. Yeah, David Jones said they look like a lumberjack. I would look a lot more like a lumberjack if you saw me with my axe in my hand. And it's true, I do know how to use an axe. Not just for murders. For chopping wood. Trees, wood, splitting wood. Nothing like splitting wood in the wintertime. And ask me if I've ever chopped down a tree, and I will say, yes, I have. Hello, Linda. Thank you for checking in. Great to see you. Hello. Sam said he used to have a shirt just like this. That's right, Sam. This is actually your shirt. I stole it out of your closet. Along with a few other things. Yes. David Jones said, did the owner appreciate the trees being chopped down? Hey, you don't talk back to a girl with an axe. You just say thank you. Hi, Sue. Woo! Welcome back, Sue. Sue, back from her exciting stint working for the National Television Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, hosting the Sports Emmys this past week. Sue got to work there, work the event, take pictures. For anyone who is curious, Sue is in charge of their Twitter. She is the voice. She is the voice of the Sports Emmys red carpet Twitter account. Not just sports, news, and documentary, and daytime. If you want to read the Twitters for the Emmys, daytime, the Emmys for sports, news, documentary, and daytime, Sue is in charge of the Twitter. All three accounts, she is the Twitter person. She is the one who does the tweeting. She is the voice of the Emmys. So if all the Emmys tweets sound like, ah, I love Justin Timberlake, you can blame that on Sue. Yeah, no, Sue is the voice of the Emmys. Sue says she saves her Justin Timberlake tweets for her own account. David Jones says, how many people work for you, Sue? Minions. Sue says 3. Ah! Sue is lording over 3 people. An absolute reign of terror. Ah! Ooh, don't make her angry. So, well, that's exciting. I'm very thrilled and proud and excited for you, Sue. That's very cool. The Twitter voice of the National Academy of Television and Arts and Sciences Emmys for sports, daytime, documentaries, and news. So that's really super cool. Yeah, so Sue actually gets paid to tweet. She is a paid Twitterer. Paid tweeter. No, Sue, that's what you're supposed to do, I think. Sam says, what's new in Hollywood? Any big movies being made? Yes. Yes, there are, Sam. Lots of big movies being made. Yes, Allura says, mostly remakes. Remakes of everything. So yeah, there is a lot of remakes. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes when you have like a classic movie that is so perfect, the remake, it's kind of impossible for it to really meet your expectations or meet the perfection of the original. So often they fall flat. And the people making them are thinking, okay, I've got a sure thing, a name brand product that people like and was successful. And I'll remake it with a whole bunch of young people, new people, that our young fans who haven't seen this movie don't know the old one. Yeah, it never works out as good as they were hoping. Sam says, wow, that was a genius answer. Well, thank you, Sam. I'm going to take your sarcasm as honest praise. And yeah, in fact, right now they are doing a remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a classic that is still being played at midnight all around the country in different places. I foresee a disaster. How can now I think Candace Cain is playing the Frankenfurter role, but really, how can you surpass the brilliance of Tim Curry? I don't care. You cannot get past Tim Curry as Frankenfurter. Susan Sarandon as Janet. I don't think you can get better than that. Meatloaf. It's a pretty perfect movie. So I'm a little dubious. Sam, it sounds like you're not a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Sam says, good grief, once was enough. Sam still has bad memories from that evening in high school when they made him dress up as Frankenfurter and go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show midnight showing after drinking a six-pack of wine coolers and smoking some cigarettes that he stole from his mom. It was an embarrassing incident where Sam ended up throwing up while dressed as Frankenfurter in the middle of the theater. David Jones says, what would happen if you made Rocky Horror Picture Show politically correct? You wouldn't have a movie anymore. Sam says he actually liked Rocky Horror Picture Show, but yes, you just can't repeat the genius that is the original. And Sam wants to know, how did I know about his high school misadventures with Rocky Horror? Have I hacked into his past? Sam says I got it all wrong. There were no cigarettes. So how's everybody else doing today? I suppose I should pick on somebody else rather than just Sam. And does anyone have any questions for the genius? Linda says she won 2 games of bingo. Does that mean you got a quarter? Your winnings total a quarter. And it's not sure if she got a full 25 cents. It may have just been 2 dimes. But it's the thrill of victory that makes her keep competing. It's not the money. She doesn't do it for the money. She does it for the love of the bingo. Was a farmer, had a dog, and Sam says he's actually still lusting after Susan Sarandon. Yes, Susan Sarandon is one of those rare people who she's in her 70s and still smoking hot and beautiful. Smoking hot and beautiful. Still very, very appealing. David Jones says, I started a war at work and then sat back and watched the fallout. Okay, well, first of all, you sound like a diabolical, evil genius. And second of all, how did you start your war? What did you do? What kind of diabolical machinations are you speaking of? What did you do? David Jones said he sent an email. What did the email entail? Did you tell somebody that their jeans look fat on them? Yeah, Susan Sarandon is so hot at, like, I don't, what is she, like 71 or 72? She goes out with guys that are like 40. David Jones says, no, I just did what needed to be done. What does that mean? It's Stupid Question Day! A regular feature of Live with Lorielle knew where I put on the genius cap. Put on the genius cap, which allows me to answer any question about any topic in the entire universe with complete accuracy. Oh, and speaking of the universe, I don't know if I've retweeted different articles about the universe. It's even bigger than they imagined. They've discovered like 1,000 new planets, many more solar systems. They're looking for Earth 2.0 because we can depend on the people in charge to someday F it all up and destroy the planet. So finding a plan B is going to be a sad reality, a sad necessity at some point in the future. Of course, then we'll have to worry about battling the aliens. Yeah, and there was another theory. We've always heard of the Big Bang Theory, like how did the universe start? You know, if they've done measurements and they said like the universe is still like expanding out. There was something that like made it go, and the universe is still moving and expanding. But so the question is, what started the bang? And is it going to bang all the way out and then someday pull back in? Or, as a new theory says, it never started. It's just always been. There was no beginning. There was no end. I think it's just a big loop, like a circle, and the black holes, it sucks everything in and then spits it out another end. Oh, and very exciting, you know, Elon Musk's hyperdrive company is getting closer and closer to building the hyperdrive, it's basically a tube. Like instead of a train on a tracks, you have like a train in a closed-in vacuum tube. And just like those little tubes that they used to have in Home Depot where you drop it down and it goes around to the register, these would be a vacuum tube. And it would shoot people in these like train pods from LA to San Francisco in half an hour. But they got to make a giant tube that goes all the way through. And it goes about 800 miles an hour. And they want to make a tube to go across the entire U.S. and get from like California to New York in an hour. He's also releasing, they're also expecting to, by 2017 or 2019, have their first prototypes for flying cars. It's the Jetsons! Cars with the little propellers that go up and then forward. Yeah, I tweeted those. Elon Musk is like I think he must be part alien because I think he's part alien. He's bringing in all these new technologies and creating things. He's bringing us into Star Trek time. Yes, they're making flying cars. So, crazy things happening in the future. In the next 20 years, you know how technology, it gets faster and faster and faster and kind of develops like exponentially. Well, in the next 20 years will be, I think, technological advancements in the next 20 years will be equal to the advancements that we've had over the last 100 years. So imagine if you were born 100 years ago and you saw, you know, cars and telephones and electricity and all these changes to where we are now. We're going to have that much of an advancement in technology over the next 20 years, maybe even 10, where from where we are today to where we'll be in 20 years will look like it'll look like ancient history. They're already working on nanobot medicine, where they've got, like, instead of taking a pill, well, say you take a pill, or a medicine, some sort of medication, you take a pill, you drink a liquid or something. Well, they're coming up with nanobots, like tiny little things that would be, you take a pill, and it's like little Pac-Man, nanobots, Pac-Man that would go through and clean your blood. So let's say you've got cholesterol, you've got clogged arteries, the nanobots will go in and eat up the cholesterol and the clogged arteries, or eat up the cancer. They're going to have little teeny nanobots in your blood system. What book, Linda? Oh, cool. That's awesome, Linda. So, yeah, that will be in the next 20 years. And the next 20 years, our lifespans will increase. As long as we haven't destroyed the planet, as long as we keep everything from blowing up, lifespans will be increasing. So those are my future predictions. Those are actually from the Google guy. few people living there. Are lots of people living up to 100. It's gonna get what this new health technology, new medical technology, will bring us up to 150. So you said, can we live forever? Yes, aging will be cured. Once they figure out how to get stem cells, how to make things, how to like make your own heart, a new heart, how to make your body renew itself so that it stays young instead of dying down, they're going to figure out how to keep constantly renewing your body so it doesn't break down. Soon it'll be like Star Trek, where they're just past, the doctor just goes, okay, you're all better. Yes, Linda said, did you see the woman in India had a baby at 72? Yes, I thought that was really cool. And maybe it's a little old, but I mean, why should there be laws to say, if you want to have a baby at 72, why should there be a law that says you shouldn't have a baby over 50? I mean, why is that anyone else's business, right? Shouldn't that be your own business? And this is after menopause. Well, what they do, they go to a fertility clinic, and apparently it's more popular in India because it's much cheaper to do it there. But they do a fertility clinic. They use an egg, someone else's egg. They haven't been able to use. They didn't use the mother's egg. They had a donated egg from a younger person, and the husband's sperm. So they put them together to make. They fertilize the egg, and then they are using hormones on the woman to make her uterus active. She won't produce the egg, but they put in a bunch of hormones and stuff to make, just like starting up a factory, starting up an old machine. They get the hormones, starting up the old machine, and so that her uterus is producing, getting the chemicals that it needs, the hormones that it needs to, kind of like keep everything pumping. And then they implant the fertilized egg inside of her, and it grows inside of her. So that's how they do a post-menopause in vitro fertilization. And so they had been married almost 50 years, and they'd never been able to have a child. So, but there were people complaining about the ethics of that, saying, oh, India, this is a rogue doctor, and India shouldn't allow that. And India needs to get on board and make the rules that they have in Europe and the U.S., where they're not supposed to do that over 50 years of age. But what? I mean, shouldn't that be the individual's decision? If the family can afford to do it or take care of it, why should that be somebody else's ethical decision? I mean, if you're not everyone can do that, and physically it won't work for every person, but if you have the energy and you're physically fit and you can afford to do it, why shouldn't you be able to? Well, David Jones says there isn't a law against it, but it's one of those ethical rules that, like, the medical doctors, they've all agreed, like, we're not going to do that. Yes. Sam says, yes, Janet Jackson is pregnant, and she is over 50. She is over 50. And then you look at somebody, Janet Jackson, when you think of somebody over 50, you don't think of them looking as young and being as fit as Janet Jackson. But there's plenty of people now that at 50 are in as good a shape as they were when they were 25. So it's not about the number, it's about what condition your body's in too. because you could be 50 and be like really old, or you could be 50 like Janet Jackson. So yeah, 50. Linda says she must be. Well, Linda, Susan Sarandon's older than you. Look how hot she is. So, yeah, so I think that's all exciting news for the future. Very exciting. But anyhow, I have talked about this. I've gotten all excited about this stuff. I haven't really answered any questions, but it's already 5:52. It's almost 6 o'clock. I don't know where the time went. Tomorrow is Friday, and every Friday is a regular feature of Live with Lorielle new called Funny Friday, where we share jokes to put everyone in a good mood for the weekend. So I hope you'll be here tomorrow with some jokes to share with everybody. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fierce Lover, Sue and Lucky Girl and Asher Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and June Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Brett and Terry Sue and Blair Cooper and N1QOV and Joe Barney and Sam and St. Clinton and Wing Doggy and Blue Sweet and Jay Dahlman and Cosmic Joe. Thank you for checking in. You guys are awesome! And keep up the good work, Sue. And everybody on YouTube, bye. I love you. Bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.